Okay, check. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. Check a one. Check. 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 Check a one. Check. 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 Hey. 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 Check. 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 When I was young, my mama said, sometimes not good. So my vocals really hot? Too hot, maybe? Oh. Like. Mama, wish there was something I could do. She said, do what you can, I'm gonna choose my attitude. But whenever I'm down and the troubles arise, more cloudy days than sunny skies, sing this song to get you over that hill. Singing I am, I can, I will. Well, I am, I can, I will. Check, 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 check. A house in New Orleans they call the rising sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. Cool beans. A little bit, yep. Should I dial it back? hey, hey. We got yelled at already, told to turn it down. Well, it's kinda loud out there, they say. Well, it's kinda loud in the atrium.
and enjoy the live entertainment and music, that would be wonderful. Thank you. Coffee? No, I'm not sure. I think you can. Can they take coffee in, can't they? Or not?
I think so.
Yeah, live entertainment and magic. My name is Tim Egerbrotten from Detroit Lakes, my friends, and it is an honor to be here today to pick and grin. We're here till midnight, so I hope you had your nap in. I know I did. Had a big nap today. I hope everybody's got electricity. I heard that this region has been pummeled. Even on Monday night, I think, was the last one going through. So I'm hoping your electricity is running and that everything's going good. So here's how I don't have really a set list. I'm just going to play music, and if you have any requests at all, typically you would write it down on a $100 bill and bring it up. But tonight is free request. Is it Thursday today? Thursday. I retired 5.5 years ago, so every day is like Saturday. And so it's free request day anyway. And if you have any requests, just let me know, and I promise to do my best. Since we had the old country yeehaw going, there's a lot of things. I was a cop for about 28 years and retired 5.5 years ago, and there's a lot of things I could have done, but I really wish I was a cowboy. I think I could have been a cowboy. I should have been a cowboy. I don't know. I bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon say, Miss Kitty, have you ever thought of running away? Settling down, will you marry me? If I ask you twice and beg you pretty please, she'd have said yes in a New York minute. They never tied the knot, heart wasn't in it. He stole a kiss as he rode away, never hung his hat up at Kitty's place. I should have been a cowboy, should have learned to rope and ride. Hey, I'd be wearing my 6-shooter, ride my pony on a cattle drive, stealing a young girl's hearts, just like Gene and Roy, sing a few campfire songs. Well, I should have been a cowboy. I might have had a sidekick with a funny name, riding wild through the hills, chasing Jesse James, ending up on the brink of danger, riding shotgun for the Texas Rangers. Go west, young man, but you've been told California's full of whiskey, women and gold, sleeping out all night beneath the desert stars, dreaming my eye into prayer in my heart. Should have been a cowboy, should have learned to rope and ride. Hey, I'd be wearing my 6-shooter, ride my pony on a cattle drive, stealing the young girls' hearts, just like Gene and Roy, singing those campfire songs. Well, I should have been a cowboy. Should learn to rope and ride, wearing my 6-shooter, ride my pony on a cattle drive. I should have been a farmer. Yeah, I should have learned to grow me sugar beets. Man, I'd be working 3 weeks in the spring, 3 weeks in the fall, driving my new John Deere. Isn't that what farmers do? I'd sing a few farming tunes. Man, I should have been a farmer. I don't think so. Yeah, should learn to rope and ride, Hey, I be wearing my 6-shooter, ride my pony on a cattle drive, stealing the young girls' hearts, just like Gene and Roy, singing those campfire songs. Should have been a cowboy. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. My friends, I love the music. Were you going to rush the stage? Oh. All right.
Okay, if I hold it down again.
Am I supposed to be quiet? No, can I continue singing? All right, I will. So our first request of the evening, that's pretty exciting that I'm 1 for 1. I should quit while I'm ahead. Feel free to dance. I'll always remember the song they were playing the first time we danced, and I knew we swayed to the music, held to each other. I fell in love with you. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Would you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Always remember that magic moment when I held you close to me. As we moved together, I knew forever you're all I'll ever need. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Would you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Would you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Woohoo! Thank you. What a beautiful song. I love that. One of the beautiful parts about music is that a song can be a hit and then it can kind of lay dormant, and then it can be a hit again if somebody re-releases it. And I love that because I have 3 gigs booked for the year 2068. So I'll be 102 years old in the year 2068, but I'm still going to book gigs. So here's how this went down. In 2018, I did a bunch of wedding dances, and 3 of them, we were having so much fun. I said, you know what? Do you guys want me back for your 50th wedding anniversary? And they said, sure, why not? And so, yeah, so I booked 3 gigs for the year 2068. I get to invite whoever I want, so you are all invited. So clear your June calendars for 2068, and we'll go to North Dakota somewhere and have a big old hoedown. All I have to do is maintain my Elvis hip, but I'm 50. I'll be 56 in November, and my Elvis hip and my Elvis knee are starting to go out on me. So if you know any good orthopedic surgeons to replace those bad boys, I could do that. But I know some of these songs are still going to be relevant in the year 2068. I'm confident of that. I'm banking on it because I don't want to learn any new music. That last one, Could I Have This Dance? In 2068, tell me that that's still not going to be a really good song. I think so. This one, this next song was a hit in 1964, and then it got a new life in 2000 when a group remade it. I recorded this one on an album in about 2015, I think it was. Let me know if you've ever heard this one, and sing along with me if you know it. We were out on a date in my daddy's car. Hadn't driven very far. There in the road, straight ahead. Car was stopped, engine was dead. Well, I couldn't stop, so I swerved to the right. I'll never forget the sound that night, the crying tires and the busting glass, the painful scream that I heard last. Well, where can my baby be? Lord took her away from me. She's gone to heaven, so I've got to be good, so I can see my baby when I leave this world. When I woke up, the rain was pouring down. There were people standing all around. Something warm was running in my eyes, but I found my baby somehow that night. Raised her head and then she smiled and said, hold me, darling, for a little while. Held her close, I kissed her our last kiss. Found the love that I knew I would miss. Now she's gone, and even though I hold her tight, I lost my love, my life that night. Well, where can my baby be? Lord took her away from me. She's gone to heaven, so I've got to be good, so I can see my baby when I leave this world. Help me out with the O's, would you please? Thank you. Were any of you around when that song was a hit the first time? Was it great then? I can imagine. I mean, Yeah. So we are here celebrating 85 years of this electric cooperative. And I was looking up some things from 1937. The average cost of a new house was $4,100. Average wages per year, $1,780. That's about what I'm making, so that's pretty good. I'm average. Cost of a gallon of gas was a dime, 10 cents. A little less than what it is now, isn't it? What is it in Fergus? What are we sitting at? $4.49? Okay. $4.49 from the lady in the back. It's like an auction, it goes a little like that. You tell me how much you want to pay for gas. $4.49, do I hear a $4.39? We'll do a backwards auction, that would be cool. I think it was $1.17 in Detroit Lakes when I left DL today, and it's cheap up there. I don't know if last time you've been to Detroit Lakes, even last February, it was like, I think our low was like 73 degrees in Detroit Lakes, and gas is like $1.17 a gallon. Milk just pours from the trees. I mean, it's beautiful. But I walked here from Detroit Lakes on my way down to Fergus Falls, and it's about 50 miles. And I realized when I got down here, I forgot my guitar pick, so I walked home, got my guitar pick, came back down to Fergus, and I was like, I have different shoes on. I had 2 different shoes on, so I had to walk home, change shoes, get the right shoes on. I walked back. I realized I forgot my guitar. I had my pick, but no guitar. I walked back, and I put on a lot of miles. And does anybody have a guess on how many miles I put on today? If you would have guessed 500, you'd be right. So this is a sing-along portion of this show, and you'll know your part when we get to it. If you don't worry about it, because I might not know it. When I wake up, well, you know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, you know I'm gonna be the man who's going out with you. If I get drunk, you know I'm gonna be the man who's getting drunk with you. And if I haver, you know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. Oh, but I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm working, no, I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. When the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, no, I'm gonna be the man who's coming home to you. If I grow old, you know I'm gonna be the man who's growing old with you. Oh, but I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. Da-da-da-da. Okay, so that's the echo part. That's the sing-along part. I was hoping that I heard a few da-da-da-duts out there. Good job on your da-da-da-dut. Okay, let's try it again. So it's like this. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's pretty weak, you guys. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, right now we have Frazee and Parker's Prairie are tuning in remotely. I don't know, are they on yet, guys? Do we know? Up there in the control booth. And remember, camera guys, waist up, okay? Waist up. Don't get the hips in there. Okay, so we want our friends in Frazee and Parker's Prairie who are watching us remotely, we want them to think, oh, I should have gone to Fergus Falls, because they are having fun singing some song they've never heard of. And how do they all know the words? I don't know. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. Nice. Woohoo! That is awesome. So that song, I think, will still be around in the year 2068. I'm hoping it is, but music is a huge part of my life, and I love how music brings people back. Even if they've never heard the song, they can still smile and tap their toes to it. But a lot of songs bring us back in our minds to a good time of life, or maybe a challenging time that the song got us through. One song that I know I'll be singing in the year 2068 as a 102-year-old entertainer is a song that I know is going to continue to be popular because my youngest son, I have 3 boys. My youngest is 22 years old, and just a couple years ago, when he was getting ready for school, I could hear him downstairs in the shower singing away, and he was singing this song, and I thought, good job, Dad, you've done something good. So let me know if you think this song will be relevant in the year 2068, would you please? Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue waters, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, the misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eye. Country roads take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear a voice in the morning hour, she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, country roads, take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads. Thank you. Thank you very much. So one good thing that came out of COVID was this whole technology thing really ramped up, didn't it? For Zoom, and people are working from home now that didn't realize that it was a thing, and now they're able to work from home and stay connected with family. And our oldest son made us grandparents right smack in the middle of, or the beginning, yeah, woohoo! Right when COVID started, we had our first grandchild, and he's the cutest little thing down in Minneapolis. But it was tough because we couldn't go see him, but thankfully with pictures and FaceTime and all that other stuff. But I'm glad it's done, but it's still kind of nice that we can do something like this and have two remote locations in Frazee and Parker's Prairie. Hey, Frazee and Parker's Prairie. On the sing-along parts, we want to make sure that the Parker's Prairie and the Frazee people are singing along. So hopefully there's somebody there monitoring them and making sure that they're singing along. So another song that I hope is still relevant in the year 2068. This will be our first true sing-along song. I mean, the other ones were just kind of warm-up ones, and you did a great job, but we are going to split the room here right down the middle. Mo, is that you, Mo? Okay, so Mo, you're leading this side, okay? And then this side, you're on your own. So Mo is going to lead this side. He's the choir director. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to do Del Shannon's Runaway, okay? And so this side of the room right here, when we get to that, I'm walking in the rain, tears are falling and I feel the pain. Okay, so when we get to that, and I wonder, wonder. And then this side of the room, why? Why? Okay, guys, if you're going to be talking, hey, pay attention. This is a sing-along. So what we did when I was setting up, we secretly put cameras and microphones underneath all of your chairs. The cameras are not under your chairs, but the microphones are under your chairs. And the cameras are on you. And right now, tuning in live down in Nashville, Tennessee, is Blake Shelton from The Voice. And Blake, yeah, so I say hey to Blake. And he's on my super smart watch phone here thing, my Dick Tracy. Blake. He's there, okay. So he's looking for contestants on next season's Voice. So it's important that you're present and you bring your A game, because you could be the next something. So this side you're singing Wonder, right? Wonder. This side you're singing, well, because it's part of the. Oh yeah, no, you're right. It is why. Okay, that's right. Okay. I know you'll know your parts. Man, it's up there. Man, I'm not going to lie. You got to get into your falsetto. Hike up the tighty-whities a little bit. You can do this, guys. Come on, let's do this thing. Well, as I walk along, I wonder what went wrong with our love. A love that was so strong. And as I still walk on, I think of the things we've done together while our hearts were young. I'm walking in the rain, tears are falling and I feel the pain, wishing you were here by me. Frazee, you're singing Wonder with these people, and I wonder. Come on, Wonders. That was beautiful. Parker's Prairie, why? Come on, Wise. I have goosebumps, you guys. That was beautiful. Well, she will stay, my little runaway. Run, 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 run away. Okay, Mo, you can get more from your team if you would, please. They were pretty good. Wonders, not bad. Wise, beautiful. I do all my own choreography, too. I can go this way. Here we go. I'm a walking in the rain. Tears are falling and I feel the pain. Wishing you were here by me to end my misery. Well, I wonder, come on, wonders. Yes, that was beautiful. Why? Come on, wise. She ran away and I wonder where she will stay. My little runaway. Run, 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 run away. Parker's Prairie. We need to hear a little more from Parker's Prairie, okay? Frazee, you sound great. You sound tall. Good job, Frazee. All right, last time for Blake Shelton. Here we go. I'm a walking in the rain. Tears are falling and I feel your pain. Wishing you were here by me to end my misery. Well, I wonder. Great. Why? She ran away and I wonder where you gonna stay now, my little runaway. Run, 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 run away. Run, 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 run away. Run, 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 run away. Nicely done. Blake Shelton said he's chosen one from each side. He won't tell me who, so you just have to stay glued to your computers and find out who's going to be the next contestant on The Voice. Good job, you guys. That was beautiful. Okay, so we're in a church. What a beautiful space this is, isn't it? Isn't this just... How about a round of applause for the guys running the camera and the sound and everybody? I told them I want to sound really tall. And they hit the tall button, so I sound like I'm 8 feet tall. But so this next song, we're going to imagine that it's 2068 and we're all at this 50th family or wedding reunion and anniversary. That's the word I'm looking for. And we're going to be singing this song. So just like in church, when I raise my hand, that's your cue to sing. I'm the cantor up here. This song I know will still be relevant in 50 or 100 more years. Well, I heard there was a secret chord David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. You had faith, but you wanted proof. Saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to her kitchen chair. She broke your throat when she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew that hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Baby, I've been here before, seen this room when I walked this floor. See, used to live alone before I knew ya. Seen your flag on the marble arch, but our love is not a victory march. It's a call, it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. There was a time you let me know what's really going on below. Now you never show that to me, do ya? Remember when I moved in you and that holy dove was moving too, and every breath we drew was hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Baby, there's a God above. All I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew ya. It's not a cry you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a call. It's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Nice. That was beautiful. Great job singing, everybody. My mother was one of the most positive people I have ever met on this planet. And one of her mantras was always, I am, I can, I will. And she passed away about 6 years ago. And about a year ago, I called a friend of mine up who was an amazing singer-songwriter, and I said, brother, I need some help writing a song to keep my mom's legacy alive, that whole attitude of I am, I can, I will. So we sat down via Zoom. He's in Minneapolis. I was up in Detroit Lakes, and we were going through, and I had the chorus in my head, and I told him all about my mom, and he said, do you mind if I just work with this a little bit? I said, that would be awesome. So about a year ago, we wrote this song, and we called it I Am, I Can, I Will, and it's another sing-along portion of the show. Any thoughts on what your words are going to be? I am, I can, I will. You got it. So, and what an amazing thing to tell yourself when things are, you wake up in the morning and you're not sure about what's going to go on, or maybe you have something looming over you, and you just remind yourself that I am, I can, I will. Now, my mom was one of those people that kind of annoyingly optimistic, you know, where when I was a cop for a long time, and I love being optimistic and positive, but Mom would call me up and she'd say, "Oh, Timmy, how was your day?" I'd say, "You know, Mom, it was tough. You know, we had a rough one today. We had a bad crash. This guy lost his eyesight. He'll never see his wife or children or grandchildren again." And she'd say, "Oh, just think of how good his sense of smell is going to be." Like, "Mom, could you dial it down just a little bit?" But she taught me that whole mantra of I am, I can, I will. It would mean the world to me if you sang along with me. So that I am, I can, I will part is going to go like this. I am, I can, I will. Try that with me, please. I am, I can, I will. Beautiful. All right, here we go, my friends. When I was young, my mama said, sometimes are good, sometimes are bad, and sometimes you can't control what's going on. But you can always choose how you're gonna roll along. So whenever you're down or troubles arise, or more cloudy days than sunny skies, just sing this song to get you over that hill. And the choir sings, I am, I can, I will. And we bring that train around one more time. I am, I can, I will. Nice. Well, one day the doctor said, Mama, I'm afraid you got cancer bad. He said, Mama, wish there was something I could do. She said, do what you can, I'm gonna choose my attitude. 'Cause whenever I'm down or troubles arise, or more cloudy days than sunny skies, I sing this song because it leaves me fulfilled. What do we sing? I am, I can, I will. Nice. I am, I can, I will. I'd be the first to say, put them rose-colored glasses away and face the truth of whatever's going down. While the world spins, you can keep your feet on the ground. So whenever you're down or troubles arise, more cloudy days than sunny skies, sing this song to get you over that hill with gusto. I am, I can, I will. I am, I can, I will. Ooh, one more time. I am, I can, I will. Nice. Parker's Prairie, I could hear you singing along. Great job. That was beautiful. So that mandolin solo in there, we were working on the song and we were trying to figure out instrumentation. And as soon as I heard the mandolin, I thought, that's the song, because that's the sound I was looking for. Because my mom, she was all of like 5 foot nothing, and my dad was 6'2", and when Mom would be out in public, she was just on a mission to make people's lives a little bit better. And so she would be like in an airport, and she'd be off. Where's Mom? Where's Mom? Oh, she'd be over there talking to somebody. But one of her things that she would do, she'd approach children with their parents there, and she'd approach them, and she'd say, do you kids know how to pick your nose? And the parents would be like, who's this lady? And she'd say, let me teach you how to pick your nose. And she'd go, So when I heard the mandolin, every time I hear that now in that song, I hear my mom picking her nose to I am, I can, I will. So I don't recommend that, walking up to strangers and no, just don't. Just don't. All right, my friends, it's about that time where we get a little crazy. I'd like to introduce the members of my band at this time, ladies and gentlemen. So what we've done, my band in a box here is from the albums that I've recorded, and we took out the vocals, and one of the songs that I recorded on my latest album was this next one, but I have to tell you a little bit of background. So I'm from Fisher, Minnesota originally, up by Crookston and Grand Forks. Anybody know where Fisher is? Yeah, woohoo! So there are two types of people. As I've traveled this country, I've discovered that there are two types of people in the world, the whole world. There are people from Fisher, Minnesota, and there are people who wish they were from Fisher, Minnesota. And I happen to be from Fisher, Minnesota, and it's a great place to be from because there were so many famous people that I grew up with growing up in Fisher. Elvis Presley, for example, is from Fisher. I went to high school with Elvis. Johnny Cash, another classmate of ours, he's from Fisher. Abraham Lincoln was a couple years ahead of us, but Abraham's a Fisher guy too. And so all these Fisher people, we would be writing songs and making up fun stories, and we'd pal around like boys and girls do. Janis Joplin, she's another one from Fisher. One time, so like give you an example of what we would do. We'd walk and goof around, and one time we were like walking by the railroad tracks, and I said, hey, I hear the train coming. It's coming around the bend. And Johnny Cash looked at me and said, what'd you say? And I said, I can hear. And we all looked at each other, and we wrote it down, and we had a pretty big hit with that, you know. And there was, I think it was on the same trip that we were walking along the railroad tracks, and it was Elvis, Carl Perkins was with us, Marilyn Monroe, she was with us too, and all these, we were just having fun, and Marilyn Monroe gave me a push. We were joking around, and she pushed me, and I stepped on Elvis's shoes. He said, lay off my shoes. I said, what'd you say? He said, lay off my shoes, and we wrote it down. And does anybody have an idea of what Elvis got for Christmas, what kind of shoes he got? Yeah, everybody says that. They were not blue suede. They were like a white, high-top Converse basketball shoe. And so we wrote, don't step on my white Converse high-top basketball shoe, but it just didn't mean a thing. And so we changed the lyrics a little bit, and we came up with this song. 1 for the money, 2 for show, 3 to get ready now. Go, cat, go! But don't you step on my blue suede shoes. Front row, catch me. Do anything, lay off my blue suede shoes. You can knock me down, step on my face, slandering my name all over the place. Do anything you want to do, but I now, baby, lay off my shoes, and don't you step on my blue suede shoes. Yeah. Honey, do anything but lay off my blue suede shoes. Here we go. Waist up, guys. You can burn my house, steal my car, drink all the liquor from an old fruit jar, do anything you want to do. But now, baby, lay off my shoes and don't you step on my blue suede shoes. Yeah. I didn't do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes. Somebody step on them. Well, it's 1 for the money, 2 for show, 3 to get ready now. Go, cat, go! But don't you step on my blue suede shoes. Oh, I didn't do anything but lay off my blue suede shoes. Yeah, well, it's blue suede shoes. Blue suede shoes on it. Blue suede shoes, baby. Blue suede shoes. Do anything, lay off my blue suede shoes. I didn't do anything but lay off my blue suede shoes. Yeah. Woo! And a lot of people aren't aware of it, but Elvis had horrible manners. I said, Elvis, you have to say thank you. And then he started saying, thank you. Thank you very much. So I don't like a lot of the credit. I don't want the credit. I don't want the burden, but it was good. Who knew? Fisher, Minnesota. So I was reading some of these off earlier. We are celebrating 85 years as this electric co-op continues to bring electricity, hopefully, to everybody. Is there anybody still out of electricity? Did you lose electricity earlier this week and now you're back on again? Resetting those microwave clocks, that's always fun, isn't it? So I was going through, so in 1937, 85 years ago, that's the same year that Amelia Earhart disappeared. And I'm not positive, but I think she's working at Walmart. Just down the road, I thought, I don't know, it looked like her. And that's the same year that the Hindenburg blew up. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was released this year, 85 years ago. That's crazy. And then toothpaste was 35 cents. Average price for a new car, $760. For a 1937, what were they making in 1937? Like Plymouth? Nice. They don't make them like that anymore, and they're not $760 anymore, I can tell you that. So I've been doing this kind of entertaining thing and playing guitar. I've been singing all my life and playing guitar for about 30 years. And my dad had 13 kids in his family, and of the 13, almost all of them were super musically involved, and they were just, that was their entertainment back in 1937 and in that era. They would gather around and they would start singing and playing the piano. And so growing up, we'd have these family reunions every other year, and I got the blessing of sitting and listening to my aunts and uncles and my dad, and they would sing this barbershop harmony. I think there were 7 girls and 6 boys, and they would sing these tight harmonies, and I was mesmerized. And we had one reunion when I was about 12 years old, and the reunion was up in Bemidji. And same thing. I mean, I was sitting there by the fire. Are you guys, who's in charge of the church space here? Can we start a small fire? Is it okay if just to relive it? I think it would really help. Okay, I got a yes and I got a no, so all right. Anyway, so imagine this big fire's roaring, and my aunts and uncles and my dad, and they're all sitting around singing this beautiful harmony. And one of my older cousins grabbed his guitar, and he sat down and he started playing. And I knew right then, I thought, someday I'm going to be in Fergus Falls playing for the 85th reunion of the Electric Co-op. And here I am, by golly. I didn't think that far ahead, but I was hooked on guitar music, and I was hooked on bonfires and singing, and it brought me back. So every time I play this song now, it brings me right back to that wonderful memory. And let me know if you've ever heard this song. We'll do a little Name That Tune. What is it? Everybody says that too. No, it's Jingle Bells. Could you not hear Jingle Bells in that? But it also goes really well with House of the Rising Sun. People always ask me, what's your favorite song, Tim? And I'm like, you know, it all kind of depends on the mood I'm in, but this song is definitely up there. It's one of my favorites. There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor boy. Oh, in God I know I'm one. Well, my mama was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. Daddy was a gambling man way down in New Orleans. Now the only thing the gambler needs just his suitcase and a trunk, and the only time, Lord, he'll be satisfied, oh, is when he's all drunk. So, mamas, tell your children not to do what I've done. Spend your lives in sin and misery in that house of the rising sun. I've got one foot on the platform, and my other foot's on the train, and I'm going back down to New Orleans, Lord, just to wear my ball and chain. There is a house down in New Orleans, and they call it Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. Oh, and God, I know. Lord, I know. Lord, I know. Lord, I know. I'm one. Wee-hee! Thank you. I have a confession to make that I sing at a lot of nursing homes and senior living facilities, and when I'm doing that song, I'm not ashamed, but I steal oxygen. I just take a little hit, and I can get like 5 more seconds out of that song, and it's awesome. We are going to do another song that's going to involve a little sing-along portion, or at least clapping portion. What's the name of that? I don't know, we're pretty far south here in Fergus Falls, but you get springtime here earlier than up in Detroit Lakes, right? So that bird that comes around in the spring, it's got a red belly. The robin. Oh, hey guys, we've been waiting for you. How are you? Good. Is the baby sleeping? All right. We don't want to wake the babies up. Don't wake the babies up. So we're going to sing a quiet song about that robin. Okay? You girls ready? Guys, I like your hat. I like that. He rocks in the treetop all day long, hopping and a bobbing, just singing his song. All the little birdies round Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweedle-dee-dee-dee, rockin' robin, rockin' robin, yeah. Say go rockin' robin, 'cause I'm really gonna rock it tonight. Every little swallow, every chickadee, every little birdie in the wild oak tree. The wise old owl, that big black crow, they're flapping them wings, singing, go bird, go, rockin' robin, rockin' robin, yeah. I said, go rockin' robin, 'cause I really gonna rock it tonight. Woo-hoo! Well, now, pretty little raven at the bird bath stand taught him how to do the bop and dang. It was grand to start going steady. Well, bless my soul. He out-bopped the buzzard and the oriole. He rocks in the treetop all day long, hopping and a bobbing, just singing his song. All the little birdies round Jaybird Street, they love to hear the robin go tweedle-dee-dee-dee, rockin' robin, rockin' robin, yeah. I say go rockin' robin, 'cause I really gonna rock it tonight. Well now, pretty little raven at the bird bath stand taught him how to do the bop, and it was so grand they started going steady. Well, bless my soul. He out-bopped the buzzard and the oriole. He rocks in the treetop all day long, hopping and a bobbing, just singing his song. All the little birdies round Jaybird Street, they love to hear the robin go tweedle-dee-dee-dee, rockin' robin, rockin' robin. I say go rockin' robin, 'cause I really gonna rock it tonight. Tweedle-dee-dee-dee, 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 tweet-dee-dee-dee. Woo! Thank you. Baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do, baby shark. I got nothing, huh? That was so last year. Oh, what a fun event. So, 6:25, they're pulling the hook on me. And so we have 10 minutes to rock it out for Frazee and Parker's Prairie, who are here virtually. So if you have any requests in the next 10 minutes, just keep them to yourself. Why, what do you got? Really? Oh, yeah. I was going to do I Love a Rainy Night, but it might be too soon. Blowing in the Wind? Yeah. That's as inappropriate as the other one, so might as well. All right, another Minnesota boy. Bob Dylan, Fisher, Minnesota. Went to high school with Bob, too. And so we wrote this song. How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? How many seas must the white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? How many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many years can a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? How many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? Yes, and how many times must a man turn his head, pretending he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many times can a man look up before you can see the sky? Yes, and how many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? How many deaths will it take till he knows too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. The answer, my friend, blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Thank you. I get goosebumply singing songs like that because I honestly, so for those that weren't here, I have 3 gigs booked in the year 2068. So I'll be 102, and I'm just going to keep booking gigs because I'm a man of my word, and by golly, I'm going to show up. So, but some of these songs I think will be relevant in the year 2068. I think like that's a great example of what will be relevant, and that one will be. So here's what we're going to do. This is the part of the show where I say, have a great night, everybody, and then I go backstage to my green room, and then the crowd starts getting antsy, and they start, one more song, one more song. Then I come back on stage, and the crowd goes absolutely wild. Okay, so yeah, like that. So let's give it a try. Good night, everybody. Drive safe. Then I come back on stage, and the crowd goes bananas. Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to go back to Fisher, Minnesota in about 1971, where Elvis Presley was on the stage at the Fisher High School auditorium. And Elvis is singing his latest #1 hit. So hold on. We got to get the collar up. I better leave the button alone. I'll leave the button alone. Here we go, my friends. Let's get a little crazy. Why? Well, because we can. Here we go. We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe the words I'm saying? We're moving this way, camera guy. We can go on together with suspicious minds, and we cannot build those dreams on suspicious minds. So if an old friend I know drop by to say hello, would I still see suspicion in your eyes? Here we go again. Ask me where I've been. You can't see the tears are real, I'm crying. Take it, fellas. We can go on together, just like we rehearsed. Suspicious minds. Come on, remember? And we cannot build those dreams on suspicious minds. Oh, let our hearts survive. Oh, why does my knee hurt after every show? I don't know. Let's don't let a good thing die. Well, you know I'd never lie to you. No, not me. I'm just saying, if you guys are running for office tonight, now is the chance to get your votes. Ready? Here we go. We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Oh, don't you know? Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe the words I'm saying? Oh, don't you know I got in a trap? Well, I can't walk out 'cause I love you too much, baby, 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 baby. Caught in a trap. Well, I can't walk out now 'cause I love you too much, baby. Don't you know? This is where Elvis would do the splits. Not gonna happen. Are there paramedics standing by? Oh, what are the symptoms and signs of a torn muscle? I think I've just did it. Old age, yeah. Speaking to my good ear. Here we go. Big finale, my friends. Oh, don't you know I got in a trap? Well, I can't walk out 'cause I love you too much, baby, 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 baby. Caught in a trap, no, 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 no. Can't walk out now 'cause I love you too much, baby. Oh, just wait. We're caught in a trap. Woo! Thank you, my friends. Thank you very much. My name is Tim Egerbrotten from Fisher, Minnesota. I really am from Fisher. Have a great meeting, everybody. Is there still food? Just save me a cookie.
annual meeting of the Lake Region Electric Cooperative. I'm Tom Jenin, and on behalf of the Board of Directors, management, and employees, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. At this time, I request that we stand for the employee video of the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and we thank the employees. I would now like to call on Director of District 8, Sid Wisnes, to give an invocation.
Before I say a prayer, I'd just like to make a couple comments, if I may. You know, it's been said that the greatest gift is to have God's love in one's heart. And the second greatest gift is to have electricity in your home. 25 years ago, we moved back to this area, and I experienced the first extended outage on our system here the last couple days. So we're thankful for electricity. It warms our lives, it makes darkness turn to light, and it's just amazing. So we have a new appreciation for electricity, and I'd just like to thank the line guys, the staff, every employee that had something to do with getting our lights back on and restored. Let's bow in a moment of prayer. Almighty God, thank you for your goodness and graciousness. Thank you for all who are gathered here tonight and remotely, and for allowing us to reach more of our members than ever before. Thank you for the many and abundant blessings, for life itself, for the measure of health, for sustenance and friendship. Thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities. Thanks also for having the freedom to embrace you and for loving us from your boundless and gracious nature. We are thankful for Lake Region Electric Co-op and the many employees who work diligently serving in their capacities to honorably and unselfishly serve our members, consumers. For that we are grateful, as it was displayed just this week. May you protect and keep our employees safe at the workplace as well as at home. Give us strength and continued blessings as we strive to serve you here at our utility and in each of our daily lives. Guide us in all that we do, that we would take care of one another to provide safe and reliable electric service to our members. May you protect and keep each of our members safe as well. We would desire for the annual meeting to meet their expectations. May you give the presenters the confidence they need to convey their message to our membership. In your name and for your service, we ask these things. Amen.
Thank you, Sid. As chairman of the board of directors, I call this meeting to order. Our board decided to have 3 locations for our members to gather for tonight's meeting. In addition to Fergus Falls, members are also gathering for tonight's meeting in Frazee and Parkers Prairie. We are excited that these additional locations allow 98% of our members to be within 25 miles of an annual meeting location. These meeting opportunities represent the grassroots spirit that created our co-op and continues to move our co-op forward. If you are one of those at the meeting locations in Frazee and Parkers Prairie, please forward your questions by texting us at the number shown on your screen. For those of you viewing the meeting online from home or elsewhere, feel free to ask us questions and let us know where you are from by using the chat box on your screen. Now I'd like to invite our Vice Chair, Sid Wisnes, to certify the notice process and to formally declare that a quorum has been established for this meeting. Sid?
I certify that the official notice of the annual meeting was posted in the Cooperative's newsletter, The Cooperative's bylaws state that 50 members constitute a quorum, and I declare a quorum for this annual meeting has been established.
All right, thank you, Sid. For tonight's meeting, I appoint Greg Larson, Manager of Corporate Services, as the recording secretary. The agenda is printed on the program received as you registered today, and it has been made available on our website. For those of you viewing from home, there is a link on the page to download a copy of the agenda. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda as the official order of the meeting? Is there a second? Second. All those in favor of this motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same. Motion carries.
The annual meeting minutes have been available in your program and on our website. For those of you viewing from home, there's a link on the page to download a copy of the agenda. I move the official 2021 annual meeting minutes be adopted as written.
Is there a second to this motion? All those in favor of this motion signify by saying aye. Opposed, same. The motion carries. The next order of business on our agenda is the election process. I want to introduce our attorney, Chad Felstool, who will further explain this process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Pursuant to the Cooperative's amended and restated bylaws, it states, in the event there is only one candidate duly nominated for election to a director position, the single candidate nominated shall be deemed elected by acclamation as an unopposed candidate, and no voting shall be required for such uncontested director district election. Therefore, I would like to present to you the candidates elected by acclamation as unopposed candidates, and no voting was required. Please stand when I call your name. Mike Brazel from District 3. Thank you, Mike. And Gary Olson from District 9. Thank you, Gary. Ladies and gentlemen, a contested election is being held in District 6, and the candidates are, and when I state your name, please stand, Charlie Blixt. Charlie's in the back. Thank you, Charlie. And Todd Blado. Todd, there you are. Thank you, Todd. Members of District 6 who did not vote by mail or electronically may vote now for director in District 6 using the ballot you received when you registered. Are there any questions about the voting process? Any questions about the voting process? Hearing no questions, if anyone has any ballots to turn in, please raise your hand and we will collect them. Does anyone have any ballots? No ballots? All right, thank you very much. I will turn the meeting back to the chairman, Mr. Jenin.
Thank you, Chad. I'm very grateful to serve as one of the 9 directors of Lake Regional Electric Co-op. The cooperative model allows us to locally make decisions on matters that are extremely important to us. I think that the other directors would agree with me when I say that we agree on a lot of things, but we don't agree on everything. But that is a great thing about a board consisting of 9 directors. The diversity of the backgrounds and ideas we all have when making decisions for the membership. We listen, we debate respectfully, and then we come to a common ground and move forward with the best interests of the members always in mind. When everything is all said and done, the co-op exists to serve you, the members. Lake Region is governed by directors you elect to serve on the board of directors. Your board creates policies and procedures that make decisions that are in the best interest of the membership. Our job as directors is to make sure that your co-op is healthy and functioning well. As board members, we have a fiduciary duty to manage your co-op and to make good financial decisions, make sure the co-op is fulfilling its obligations, and generally take actions to make sure the co-op is on course for continued success. The board must both be responsive by reacting to events, ideas, and opportunities facing the cooperative, and proactive by thinking about the future and looking at ways to continue to improve the co-op's well-being. Lake Region exists for the benefit of our members, and our members come first because we are in the business of providing the quality of life that you all deserve. I would like to take a moment to thank our employees. Each of you plays such an important role in our ability to serve our members, and in times when we need you the most, you don't let us down. Example this week. Thank you to everyone for all you've done and for always ensuring that our members are taken care of. Our board cares about our employees, members, and everyone else impacted by our service. Safety is priority number one at our cooperative. That is why your board will continue to take every precaution to keep our employees, members, and the public safe from electrical hazards. Thank you, and now I want to introduce your board of directors. From District 1, Kurt Krugler. From Rotse. Cecil Bud Hansel, District 2, Frazee. Mike Brazel Perham, who also serves on the Great River Energy Board of Directors. Earl Rydell, District 4, Dent. Patrick Myers, District 5, Detroit Lakes. Joyce Valley, District 6, Pelican Rapids, Secretary. Joyce has served as the director for the District 6 for 15 years. She will be retiring from the board this month. Thank you, Joyce, for all your years of service to our members. I'm Tom Jennen, District 7, Fergus Falls, and I serve as chair. Sid Wisnes, District 8, Battle Lake, vice chair. Robert Shaw, District 9, Henning, treasurer. Robert has served as the director for District 9 for 15 years. He will be retiring from the board this month. Thank you, Robert, for your years of service to our members. Now I'd like to introduce CEO Tim Thompson for his presentation. Tim?
Good evening, everyone. It is such a joy to be here with all of you tonight for this 85th annual meeting of Lake Region Electric Cooperative. Thank you all for participating in your annual meeting. Clicker. Little technology problem here. It'll come. Okay, let's try this again. "85 years ago," it's a delay. There we go. 85 years ago, where you and I live today as members of Lake Region Electric Cooperative, the people did not have electricity. Only the people who lived in the towns and the cities had electricity. The big power companies said there's not enough customers in the rural area. It'd be too expensive. There wouldn't be any profits to be made. So the people came together at the local grassroots level to talk about the idea of forming their own electric cooperative so they too could have electricity and improve their quality of life. At the federal level, President Roosevelt in 1937 signed that Rural Electrification Act, bringing power to the people by providing low-interest loans to the newly formed electric cooperatives across our nation. Your cooperative, Lake Region Electric Cooperative, was formed in 1937. It borrowed $125,000 from the REA and began building those power lines out into the rural areas, bringing power to the people, creating a glow of farmstead lights, symbolizing the people's victory over rural darkness. As we gather here tonight at this annual meeting, it seems like everything has changed since 1937. The most important things have not changed. The members still come together at the grassroots level. The members still own this cooperative, and the members still elect the board of directors to govern your cooperative and to make those decisions that are in the best interest of the membership. One of the things that we cherish the most is when a member shares that story of what it was like when Lake Regional Electric Cooperative brought electricity to their farm for the first time. Last year, we received this inspiring handwritten letter from Leo Dahl, a 93-year-old Leo Dahl, a 73-year member of Lake Regional Electric. We met up with Leo after we received this letter. We did an interview with him, and we'd like to share with you his video of his recollection of what it was like when he received electricity for the first time.
If you wouldn't mind just trying to share that story of 1947 and 1948 time frame when you got electricity.
I farmed with my dad, and he had we had moved in a small house, and I lived there when electricity came, 1948. And I'll never forget, we had the houses, the buildings pre-wired for it, you know, and when the day came in 1948, we were thrashing, and they just couldn't get over the big yard light. At that time, it was just, you know, you turn them off or on the way you needed them. And it just went leaps and bounds from there, the change of life, everything changed. We could come in the house at night and see the floor. It never, you know, we had lights, but they didn't have anything like electric lights. And
then this old Army truck came the next spring to set the poles up. Just pretty amazing process back in the day, digging holes by hand.
Well, yeah, they give us the tools or whatever, they borrowed them, the spoon shovel or spoon hook. They had to be 6 feet deep, and we'd dig them.
Wow.
And then in the wintertime or in the fall, they delivered the poles. They just laid on the ground wherever there was a hole. And then in the spring, that old Army truck come with a boom on it, and he lifted up the poles and set them in there. And at that time, the workers, they didn't have these trucks and hoists on everything. They had to climb the poles.
Yeah.
They had those wooden prongs on the shoes, and they had to climb the poles and fix it up, tie up the wires, and it was amazing to us. We kept watching them all summer, doing, you know, putting it together. And then in August, we got the current, and that changed everything. Everything changed for the better. It was really something good. We were able to get a small radio, and that was really something. And then we put one in the barn that had music in the barn.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite a history to it. Few farmers had these 32-volt deals to make electricity, and neighbors were always kind of anxious at that. And when they found out that they could get electricity, they just signed up like nobody's business.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I remember right, the going bill a month was $3.50.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know what is it now, 27 or?
Yeah, the basic charge, facility charge is $24.
Yeah. So, but it's a big improvement. Good workers, good upkeep. I really appreciate it.
A $5 membership fee or anything like that? Do you recall?
I don't remember that. I know Dad was one of the workers that went around the country and got the people to sign up for electricity, and it bloomed from there on.
Kind of what you were saying, I keep your letter right there because for me, we have to stay focused on
you, the members of the co-op,
Yes.
and so in a little letter, it's got the history, it's got the gratefulness, it's got all the things we talked about, and that's just a good reminder for me every day. When I come to work, I sit down and that's what I see.
Really?
And that keeps me focused on the most important thing, which is you, the member.
There you go.
So, thank you.
Appreciation of saying thank you. Thank you goes a long way.
Yeah.
It really does. And we're very grateful for that.
I'm certainly very grateful to have had the opportunity to meet Leo and his wonderful family. Unfortunately, Leo passed away this past year. Quite a man. Hope you enjoyed that video. All right. Well, each year at Lake Region Electric Cooperative, we do a member satisfaction survey. And this past year, I'm so pleased to report that 2,783 members participated in that survey. When we asked the members that question of overall, how satisfied are you with your electric cooperative, we scored a score of 8.9 on a 10-point scale. The best part of this survey is the comments that we received back from the membership. Many of those comments are positive comments, and they are typically directed at the great work that our employees do day in and day out to serve you, whether it's at this annual meeting tonight, whether it's when you call into the front office, or when our employees are out there battling those storms, the blizzards this past winter, and this massive storm that hit our system so hard this past Monday night. We had 9,800 customers out of power at about this time on Monday night earlier this week. All of our customers are now back in service. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our employees. Those of you here, those of you in Frazee, those of you in Parker's Prairie, for the awesome job that you did this week, and we did it safely. I want to share just one story about this week. On Monday night, we all watched the Weather Channel. Here came the storm. We're all hoping we're not going to get hit. Some of us got hit really hard. The storm cleared, it passed. When you work at the co-op and a storm like that goes through, you just kind of naturally go to work when you can to help the multi-day process here to restore power. One of our employees came in. He showed me his phone. He says, "This is a picture of my lawn. Debris everywhere, some of his personal property damaged, things laying in his yard." He said some of the debris broke windows in his house. He came into work within an hour or two of that storm to lead the charge for the last 3 days to restore power. That's the type of people in this organization. I would like to take this moment to ask all of our employees to please stand. And the retired employees who are here tonight, which is great to see. Could you all stand, please? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. The other group of special people that I would like to thank are the spouses. When you work as a lineman or employee of Lake Region and you're on call, you have to leave your family quite often, time to time. I just want the spouses out there to know how much we appreciate you and the role you play and the support you give our employees. It really makes a difference creating that teamwork. Thank you very much. The other things we get really good feedback from our members is on our rates. I have some really good news to share tonight in terms of our rate stability plan and how we're working to keep your rates stable. The second area that we get a lot of good feedback on is reliability. I'm excited to share with you some of the new things we are doing to improve reliability for our membership. Here's one of the comments we get back in our survey about rates. Thank you for having some of the lowest rates in Minnesota. When you look at just electric cooperatives and compare the rates that we pay as members of Lake Region for 1,000 kilowatt hours per month, when we benchmark our rates against our peer group of 14 cooperatives, we come in, they're second lowest, as you can see, Lake Region in the green bar. We also get this comment: rates are too high compared to town residents. The fundamental reason why you're going to pay a little bit more for electricity in the rural areas is because it takes so much infrastructure to provide electricity in the rural areas across such a wide geographical area to a fairly small number of customers. I hope these two pictures on this slide kind of paint that picture for you. That picture on the left, that's Lake Region's service area, a rural area. What do you see when you drive down that road? You see a lot of poles, a lot of wire being strung a long distance with an occasional house or two along the way. The picture on the right of in town, where Xcel Energy, for example, would serve, you see one pole with several houses very close. It's just more cost effective to serve a town than the rural areas. I like to use these wires to demonstrate this point even further. Pretend with me that this is 1 mile of power line for Lake Region Electric. These colorful pieces of tape on here represent one customer. We only have 5 customers per mile of power line. So all the costs to build this line, to operate this line, to maintain it, to restore it after power outages, we can only spread those costs over 5 customers. If you compare that to this wire, pretend this is a 1 mile of power line for Xcel Energy, who serves towns and cities. They have 46 customers per mile line, so they can take their cost of building and operating that power line and spread it over 46 customers. And at the bottom of the slide there, it kind of shows you from a rate structure standpoint what that means. With only 5 customers per mile line, we charge a $24 a month facility charge, where Xcel Energy only has an $8 per month facility charge. Well, how does our $24 a month, yeah, it's gone up a little bit since 1948 when it was $3.50, but how does our facility charge compare to other utilities at $24 a month? The utilities that are lower than us are going to be the investor-owned utilities and the municipals like Minnesota Power, Xcel Energy at that $8 range. The ones that are higher than us are other rural electric cooperatives, all the way up to $49 per month. We talk a lot about facility charges, don't we? Well, what is a facility charge anyway? Why do we even have one? The $24 facility charge is designed to cover the cost of all of that infrastructure needed to bring electricity to your house, so when you walk over and hit that switch, that light comes on. Let's take a look at how that power flows to your home. It starts at our local distribution substation. Today, a substation at Lake Region costs about $1 million. From that substation, the power lines carry it to your area. 1 mile of power line today, the poles and wires, costs anywhere from $50,000 to $80,000 per mile, depending on what type of construction that power line is, whether it's a single phase or a 3-phase. It takes bucket trucks. Today, bucket truck costs about $200,000. It takes a transformer. A pole-mounted transformer is about $900 install. And it takes a meter. And to install a meter today costs about $200. So you think about $24 a month to cover that cost and all that expensive infrastructure. It's pretty clear that that $24 is not enough to cover the true cost of all of that infrastructure. Your board of directors has commissioned a cost of service study. We're working with an outside firm, an expert in rate making, and we're going to be studying these costs in the coming months. We're pretty sure what this cost of service study is going to tell us is that $24 is not enough to cover that infrastructure cost. When we get that information, we will study that hard. And one of the things that the board is considering is right now, because we are in such good shape in terms of our rate stability, we don't need to bring any new revenue into the co-op right now. And because of our financial strength, we don't need to bring any new revenue into the co-op. But this might be the opportunity to consider raising that $24 and at the same time lowering your actual energy rate or your kilowatt hour rate. This will be done on what we call a revenue neutral basis because we don't need to bring any new revenue in. So how would that affect us as individual consumers? Well, if you're an average consumer with average usage year-round and you increase that $24 and you decrease the variable rate that you pay for your kilowatt hours, you're not going to see hardly any impact at all on your total bill. Now, if you're a small user, if you increase the $24 and decrease the energy rate, you're going to see a slight net increase. The opposite is true for a larger user. If you're larger than average, if you increase to 24 and reduce the kilowatt hour charge, you're going to see a net decrease. It would just be a more fairer way to collect those fixed costs across the membership. Your board's going to be studying this hard in the coming months. We're talking about it a lot in our newsletter. Please stay tuned on that topic. Well, the good news for us with our rates right now is we are enjoying a period of rate stability. We've only had one rate increase now in the last 9 years. That was a 4.3% increase back in 2017. Anybody here heat their house with electricity as part of our dual fuel program? That rate has not changed in 14 years, since 2008. What we pay today to heat our homes with a dual fuel, same today as it was 14 years ago. We all know what inflation is doing in our economy right now. It's real, it's impacting us, but rest assured, we are going to continue to work hard to try to keep your rates stable and electricity affordable for the membership. One of the reasons we've been able to keep our rates stable in recent years is under our rate stability program, we're trying to generate new revenue for the cooperative. If we can generate new revenue, that's less dollars then that your board of directors has to build into your electric rates. This standby generator program is a great example of that. The standby generator program is really a premium service, really gives customers the peace of mind that if the power does go out, they've got their own standby generator on site that will automatically start up and power their home through that power outages. This, by selling and maintaining these units, it creates new revenue for us and helps us keep our rates stable. This past year in 2021, our employees installed 90 standby generators. We've now installed 380 standby generators since 2017. And just love to share that member comment there, the great job that our energy services team does in working with our customers there. Another big part of our rate stability program is our new natural gas service. We are now bringing natural gas to areas that have never had natural gas before. Bringing that new infrastructure and that natural gas service to these areas is all about improving the quality of life for people, because we are helping people reduce the cost of heating their homes. For an average household, we can save them about $300 to $500 per year by switching from propane to natural gas. Who can't use an extra $300 to $500 per year? We now are serving over 1,000 natural gas customers. And again, this benefits all electric ratepayers, because not only does it create a new revenue stream for the cooperative, we can take fixed costs off of the electric cooperative, allocate those into the natural gas business, and recover those fixed costs through the rates of the natural gas customers, benefiting all electric ratepayers. Improving the quality of life in our communities is so important. We are now bringing natural gas to the Parker's Prairie Community School, for example, helping them lower the cost of heating their building. We are bringing natural gas to the Dent Community Center, helping that community center lower their cost of heating their building. We are bringing natural gas service to churches, helping them reduce the cost of heating their building. And we're working with farm families, helping them reduce the cost of heating their barns and reduce the cost of drying their grain. Another part of our rate stability program is an investment we made in Cars Tree Service a few years ago. Anytime we can bring a new dollar into the co-op, that's very positive for us. This has been a great investment for us. Now that we're an owner of that company, we share in the financial success of Cars Tree Service. When they pay a dividend, we receive our fair share of that. Again, a new revenue coming in to our cooperative. We've also been a leader in renewable energy. We've done 2 successful community solar programs for our members. We also have our own Go West solar program, where we will install ground-mounted solar systems for our members. We've also done this large project. This is a picture of our wind solar hybrid project. It's a 2 megawatt GE wind turbine coupled with a 0.5 megawatt of solar farm. It's owned and operated by Joule Energy. They built the program and the project. We simply buy that clean, local, renewable energy from this facility. It interconnects directly into the local distribution grid that you already own, and we distribute that renewable energy to our members. Because this was a first of its kind project, GE did this video on the project. We want to share that with you.
I've always felt that electricity is the lifeblood of our society. Nothing works without electricity.
We worked with the Lake Region Electric Co-op in rural Minnesota to design the hybrid electric solar and wind solution. This gave this very rural community a low-cost renewable energy solution.
This is the first true solar wind hybrid of its kind where we utilize this technology that we developed with GE.
Hybrid renewables are scalable from cities and towns to small rural communities.
They're very complementary on how they work together. We can harness both the wind and the sun in one project and bring more renewable electricity to our members. With this renewable technology, there's no fuel, no emissions, no waste, no water, and it's by far and away cheaper energy.
It not only allows us to bring in the renewable energy for our members, but it also actually saves us money on our overall power costs. So it's more renewables, less cost for our members, and that's what they're asking for.
We absolutely need a greener, cleaner system. Hybrid renewables are our first step in the path to reaching 100% renewable energy.
All right, these 4 projects that I just described, the wind solar, the natural gas business, the generator program, and the car street service, those 4 items and projects together create a positive total rate impact for the membership each year of about $750,000, helping us keep our electric rates stable. Thank you, Dylan. Switching gears to reliability, we are prioritizing reliability by reinvesting in the local grid. This is a graph that shows the nice downward trend over the last several years of outage times for members. You can see that today it's about half of what it was, say, back in 2004. Our goal is to keep power outages at 2 hours per member per year or less for the local outages. I want to point out in 2021, we were actually higher than the 2.0. We were at 2.2. There's a good reason for that. That green shaded part down in the corner there. 0.8 of that 2.2 hours was for what we call planned outages. Because we're doing so many upgrades to our system, we need to take planned outages. If we're doing a major upgrade to a line or a major upgrade to a substation, we have a planned outage. It's just so much more efficient and safer to take the whole area of that project offline and let you know ahead of time when that's going to be and about how long it's going to be, and then bring it back on once that project is completed. The good news for you there, if you were part of one of those planned outages in 2021, that means there was some big infrastructure improvements in your area that should lead to improved reliability going forward. I'm really excited about this project and how we're prioritizing reliability. This is our new distribution grid improvement program. This is a map of our entire service territory. Those 10 areas there that are circled in green are our worst performing circuits on our system. There's 2,240 members that live in those 10 areas. We've identified them as our worst circuits. And what we've done with that information is we took it to our linemen and we said, we want you to use your knowledge, skill, and ability and your experience to go out and analyze those 10 areas. Think differently about how we can improve the service in those territories. They did a fantastic job. They came back with a lot of ideas. We ran them through the engineering department, ran them through the decision-making process. Now we are out working and improving those 10 areas. We're about halfway through those 10 different projects. So if you're in one of these areas, like I am, you've either already experienced better reliability, I hope, or you will be shortly as we finish out these 10 projects. Another new technology that we're really excited about is our Exactor technology. This is all about preventing outages. This Exactor technology can identify material and hardware on our system that's in a pre-fail state. we can get out there and change it out for you before it causes a power outage. It's really a two-step process. The picture on the left, you see that yellow piece of equipment on the hood of that truck? That's part of the Exactor technology. That technology in a vehicle driving at posted speed limits, paralleling that power line, as you drive down the road, that equipment and technology is sensing that power line. You need to make 4 different and separate passes along that power line and let it collect data. And what that does then is they give that data to us and it sends us to an exact location, a GPS coordinate. So on the right side of this screen, it took us to this pole. And you can see that employee there with that handheld scanner, and you scan the top of that pole, all that equipment. And what it's telling us is one of those brown insulators on the top of that pole is in a pre-fail state. The beautiful thing about this is by identifying it before it fails, number one, it prevents causing an outage for the membership. But number two, our guys can get out there, hopefully on a blue sky day like this picture shows, change that out, members won't even know it, and it's just so much safer to do it in a controlled environment on a blue sky day than waiting till that insulator fails at night in a storm, a stressful outage. Much safer for our employees. Better reliability, better safety for our employees. We've also made very large improvements to the transmission system. We don't own our transmission system. The transmission system are the larger structures, the larger poles you see, the larger substations. They're owned primarily by Great River Energy. Those transmission systems feed our distribution system, and we distribute it to the members. About 5 years ago, we sat down with our transmission providers and said, you know what? We're not satisfied with the level of service we're getting from our transmission system. We did a full-blown analysis on our transmission system, and I want to share with you some of the big projects that came out of that analysis. This first one is a new Great River Energy transmission substation called Schuster Lake. This is a $6.8 million project located near Perham. This new substation has now increased the reliability to 3 Lake Region Electric distribution substations, the Dora, the Dent, and the Perham distribution substations that serve over 5,000 Lake Region members. Since this project was completed, the transmission-related outages have reduced from an average of 6.5 per year down to 0. Another project that came out of that study was a new Lake Region substation and a new Great River Energy power transmission line. We upgraded our Lake Eunice substation, and Great River Energy built a new transmission line to our new substation. This was a $3 million project located near Lake Eunice and Pelican Lake, was completed this past year. This has now increased the reliability to over 2,000 members that are served off this one substation called Lake Eunice. This transmission-related outages have been now reduced from an average of 4 per year down to 0. I hope these before and after pictures do it justice, but those new substation picture and that new transmission line there, it is state-of-the-art infrastructure and technology, and that technology will serve Lake Region members well for the coming decades. Another big project was the upgrade to the Great River Energy Frazee transmission substation. This was a $10.2 million project completed last year. There's also going to be a new transmission line built to this substation in 2023. With this project, we are now experiencing increased reliability for the Lake Region substations of Evergreen, Butler, Frazee, and Burlington, and increased voltage support for over 1/2 of our distribution substations. Transmission-related outages, because of this project, have now reduced from an average of 4 per year down to 0. Another improvement the GRE made was to the Henning GRE transmission substation. This is a $1.2 million project that has increased reliability to 2,402 Lake Region members served off the Stalker Lake and Henning substations. The transmission-related outages have decreased from an average of 5 per year down to 2. Those 2 transmission-related outages have happened just here recently. One of them was this week. The Stalker Lake area is one of the hardest hit areas from the Monday evening storm. that hit about this time Monday evening, about 72 hours ago. We had 9,800 members out of power. Had a chance to drive down and around the Stalker Lake area last night, and pretty incredible, the massive trees and things that are down. But tremendous upgrades made to our transmission system. One other project here is a Lake Region project. We made upgrades to our 10-mile lake substation. We also extended a 3-phase line underground out of that substation for 13 miles to improve the reliability in that area. This slide is a summary of these 5 big projects. Those red dots are the locations around our system of those projects. The lightly shaded green areas are the areas where members should see improved reliability from these projects. $22 million in total for these 5 projects should improve reliability at over 18,000 members. We do not know of a time in our history where we spent this much investing in our local transmission system to improve reliability. Well, how's your cooperative doing financially? Let's take a look at our 2021 consolidated financial statement. Consolidated, now that we have a gas company, means it's the electric cooperative and the natural gas company consolidated into one financial statement. Top line there, our total operating revenue, over $55 million. You look at our costs and our expenses. We really try to demonstrate financial discipline throughout our organization to control our costs. Everybody's done a great job with that. That produced a total margin last year of $5.6 million. Having a really good year like that of a margin of $5.6 million continues to increase the equity of your cooperative. We finished out the year with $66 million of equity on the balance sheet. We've increased our equity over $43 million since 2005, and we are currently at 46% equity. With that good financial year and strong balance sheet, your board of directors, again, made that local decision in the boardroom to retire over $1.8 million in cash back to the members last fall. We are now on a 17-year capital credit rotation. It now comes to you in 3 pieces. The big piece is the Lake Region piece, of course. Great River Energy, a cooperative also, is now retiring cash back to Lake Region, and we pass that back to the members as well. The third one on there is new, CFC. That's one of our national banks. It is a cooperative form of ownership as well. It's owned by electric cooperatives. They are retiring capital credits to us, and we are passing that back as well. This is now the 9th consecutive year of record capital credit retirements back to the membership, and we've now paid out over $33 million in capital credits in the rich history of this cooperative. Lake Region is all about people helping people. We are so thankful for our Operation Roundup program and the generosity of our members. The Operation program, if you're not familiar with it, you can now opt to round up your power bill each month to the next dollar, and that small change goes into the Operation Roundup Fund and really makes a difference in our community. Lake Region members volunteer to serve on the board of directors of the Operation Roundup Fund, and they make the decision to where those dollars are paid out to. Here are 3 examples from last year. A contribution was made to the Parker's Prairie Community Ambulance Fund, to the East Ottertail 4-H group, as well as to the Ottertail Youth Ski Group. Great ways to improve the quality of life in our communities. We've now paid out about $479,000 since this program was established back in 2007. In closing, I just want to say that I hope that you feel that your cooperative is committed to serving you. If there's a moment where you don't feel that way, please call us. Please let us know. I'll be the last one to leave tonight. Come see me. We absolutely want to work with you, whatever the topic is, whatever the issue is, so you feel like your cooperative is committed to serving you. If I could close by saying this, I hope that as members, you are really proud of the past and the history of Lake Region Electric. But I hope you also feel that as we look forward, that you feel that your cooperative is prepared for the future. And whatever that future brings, let's continue to build that future together as a cooperative. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim, for your presentation. I kind of aspire to try to be as good as Tim on these public speaking, but I'm just a farmer, so bear with me. I'd like to thank him for his presentation and strong leadership provides our cooperative. And now we'll hear from Mark Fagan from Great River Energy to give us an update on the GRE generation portfolio. Mark?
Thank you. Good evening. Well, a little justice for the shorter guy here. As Tom mentioned, I'm Mark Fagan, the Vice President of Corporate and Member Services at Great River Energy. Great River Energy, or GRE as we call it for short, is the wholesale power supplier and provider of power delivery services for 28 member-owner cooperatives around the state, including Lake Region Electric Cooperative. Like many cooperatives around the nation and the world, GRE upholds the 7 cooperative principles that focus on community, local control, education, and governance. However, the one cooperative principle that was in laser focus in 2021 for us and our members was cooperation among cooperatives. It's fitting that Tim led his remarks talking about change in our business, because 2021 was a pivotal year for changes in Great River Energy's power supply portfolio. And we made those decisions in close consultation and cooperation with our member owners, including Lake Region Electric Cooperative. GRE has been on a decade-long trajectory to transition its power supply portfolio with a focus on affordability. As such, we have exited out of the money contracts, and we made the difficult decisions to shut down or sell power plants with challenged economics. By eventually eliminating coal and more than doubling renewable energy resources, Great River Energy will reduce power supply cost and minimize our environmental impact. As you can see on the donut charts on the screen, we're making a remarkable transition from being a coal-dependent utility to serving our member-owner cooperatives with primarily a renewable portfolio of resources. In 2020, 55% of Great River Energy's energy came from coal, with 25% from renewables. By 2027, those numbers will essentially flip. While this plan has been in the works for many years, 2021 witnessed some of the most significant and lasting changes. The impact of this power supply transition to GRE's member owners is a flat to slightly declining wholesale rate forecast over that planning horizon. This is the rate forecast we've been working toward for the last 10 years. However, given general inflation and energy costs, power market volatility, and a rapidly changing energy industry, maintaining this flat wholesale rate trajectory will require intentional and active management on the part of GRE and its employees. We're building the internal processes now to understand the risks of our new power supply portfolio and manage them into the future. And of course, we must balance GRE's actions focused on affordability with reliability. Because as Director Rydell likes to remind me, we all know that the wind doesn't always blow. So GRE must continue to operate and maintain its modern fleet of natural gas-fired peaking plants. While these facilities don't run many hours of the year, they're always on standby to provide reliable power supply on very short notice. The peaking fleet is geographically distributed, and the majority of GRE's peaking units have the ability to burn fuel oil as a backup fuel source. By 2027, you'll note that the majority of GRE's capacity, that is the capability to produce energy when it's needed, will come from that peaking plant fleet. Also notable, though, is that a significant contribution of capacity will also come from load management programs. Controlled air conditioning, peak shave water heating, interruptible C&I loads, and interruptible irrigation could contribute 12% of GRE's capacity come 2027. And utilizing these homegrown resources like load management is a cost-effective way for GRE to meet its load-serving obligation to the membership, while at the same time providing the member consumers an opportunity to manage their wholesale monthly or their monthly power bills. While GRE's power supply transition was driven by the affordability goal, it has had the associated effect of lowering GRE's carbon dioxide emissions, thus enhancing GRE's environmental stewardship focus. As a result of selling Coal Creek Station just last month, Great River Energy is on track to reduce its carbon dioxide emissions by greater than 80% by the year 2032 as compared to 2005 levels. We appreciate the strong relationship that Great River Energy and its member owners have built over the years, especially the last few years, as we've been working together to rapidly transform GRE's power supply portfolio. Thank you for the opportunity to provide you this update on Great River Energy.
Thank you, Mark. Now I'd like to introduce Mark Glace, the former CEO of our statewide organization, Minnesota Rural Electric Association, for a historical presentation on Lake Region Electric and the cooperative spirit. Mark.
Before I start, I want to thank Joyce and Bob Shaw for their 15 years as directors of this great co-op. The defining attribute of both of these directors was their affection for the membership. And every decision they made was based on that value, affection for the membership. You did a great job. We are so appreciative. Thank you so much. It seems appropriate in this beautiful church, in this magnificent sanctuary, to tell you that the best-selling book, the most popular book of all time, is the Bible. Even more popular than Tim's monthly column. Perhaps even more popular than Chris Dolan's chit-chat column with her membership at Wild Rice Electric. You may have seen the Wild Rice trucks help restore the electricity that Monday's storm did. Chris, thank you so much for helping out. We very much appreciate it. In the Bible, with 31,202 verses, you certainly get your money's worth. And I suspect that everyone here probably has a favorite Bible verse. It could be the entirety of Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, or a Bible verse that is seen at football stadiums across the country in the fall, John 3, verse 16. God so loved the world. But for me, ladies and gentlemen, my favorite Bible verse is found in the Gospel of John, the last chapter, chapter 21. The last verse, chapter 25. John 21, verse 25. And it says, Jesus did so many other things, the which, if they were written, every one. I suppose that the world could not contain all the books that would be written. All the blessings, all the miracles, all the libraries in the world, all the bookshelves in the world, all the exercise equipment could not contain all the books of all the miracles and all the blessings. But the book of miracle, the book of blessing that is Lake Region Electric Cooperative, could not have been written 86 or 87 years ago. So 86 and 87 years ago, this country was in the grasp of the Great Depression. Farm income. Over half the nation's population lived in rural America had a per capita income of $1,800, which meant that at least 50% had a farm income of $1,600 or $1,200. And likely the bottom 25% were less than $1,000. And so the idea of bringing rural electrification to the counties of Wilkin and Otter Tail and Becker County must have been so fanciful. And if they thought about it at all, so electricity is for city people. We simply can't afford it. And at $3,000 a mile, the cost then to extend electricity a mile away, which just not within the realm of possibility. And then there was the $5 membership. $5 membership to a family making less than $1,000 when they coveted what was in the page of the Montgomery Ward's catalog, looking at shoes for the kids, or kitchen appliance, well, there would be appliance, something in the kitchen for the farm wife. And so $5 was not within their grasp, belonged to the cooperative. But because there was no electricity, the burden fell disproportionately on the farm wife. The average farm family used 40 gallons of water for each individual. Today it's over 100. Each gallon of water weighs about 8 pounds. So if you had a family of 5, perhaps small by rural standards back then, that was 1,600 pounds of water that the farm wife had to carry an average of a football field away, 100 yards. 1,600 pounds day in and day out. And Robert Caro, who wrote 2 great chapters on rural education, recounted what the farm wife said was the hardest day of the week. It was generally Monday, because that's when they wash clothes. I see some heads nodding. And so she would create this giant bonfire and heft gallons of water, 8 pounds for each gallon of water, into this big pot, wait for it to boil. And because there was no electricity, she had to agitate the clothes to get them clean. And farm wives probably universally said Mondays were the worst day. We could hardly get out of bed to the next day. And at the age of 35 and 40, they were stooped beyond age. Rotator cuff problems, disc problems in their back, their knees went out, their ankles swollen, because there is no electricity. And in the evening, children would gather around a kerosene lamp, which would soon darken the glass globe so they couldn't do their work, their math, and read their McGuffey reader. And so they would send to bed, and the husband and the farm wife, so exhausted from the day's work, sat there in silence with loneliness descending on them. The ache of loneliness because they couldn't listen to a radio, couldn't listen to FDR's fireside chats, couldn't listen to music because there was no electricity. Because there was no electricity, people started talking about electrifying. What would it be to have electricity? Which brings us to a farmer in Tennessee. True story. This Tennessee farmer looked at how hard his wife worked and how she was old beyond her years. And so he went to the power company official and asked, what would it take to extend the line over here, your line, to my farm over here, a couple miles away? Power company official said, well, we can't do that. We can't extend our lines to your farm because it's going to cost too much money. And you're not going to use enough electricity to justify that expense. So if you want electricity, you're going to have to get a farm which is right next to our power pole. And so somewhat dejected, the farmer went home, talked it over with his family, made a momentous decision, which he unveiled the next day, went back to the power company official, said, we've decided we'll sell our farm. Imagine that, a farm that was likely in its family for generations. We'll sell the farm at the height of the Great Depression because electricity is so important. Power company official said, well, if we do it for you, we'll have to do it for everyone who wants to sell their farm to get electrification. And so the miracle that is Lake Region Electric Cooperative stalled yet again until legislation was introduced before the Congress of the United States. It's introduced by two gentlemen so dissimilar. The one is a gentleman by the name of George Norris, the U.S. Senator from Nebraska, where I held. And George Norris is regarded as one of the greatest senators ever to serve in that august body. The other gentleman was an avowed racist who voted and introduced legislation to inter Japanese Americans after Pearl Harbor. His name was John Rankin. But Rankin was so concerned about his constituents who didn't have rural electrification. And so the REA Act, the Rural Electrification Administration Act, was introduced, created to lend money to cooperatives, which were much popular then and today. So it easily passed the Senate, but it came to the House Energy Committee. And the private power companies, like Otter Tail, Northern States Power, rose up in opposition. Never mind that FDR asked them to electrify rural America, and we will give you the money to do it. They didn't want any part of that. But when it came a reality, the prospect of electrifying rural America caused them to come together and oppose this legislation. They said, imagine this. A utility that's owned by the people they serve, that strikes us as communistic. And so the great debate erupted in the House Energy Committee. When the vote was taken, it didn't pass by 10 votes, didn't pass by 5 votes, it didn't pass by 2 votes. It passed by a single vote. A single vote. But once it passed, in 10 years, the number of rural customers across the far reaches of the United States increased by 9-fold. 10% received it before REA, Rural Electrification Administration Act, was passed to nearly 90%. And so Lake Region Electric Cooperative started with 1 customer and 1 mile of line. Today it's 5,800 miles of line and 28,000 customers. But I want to return to my Tennessee farmer. Sid preempted me, thank you very much. But it's worth telling this story again because how meaningful it is. So the farmers then, and I expect the farmers back in the 3 counties this co-op served, helped dig the holes for these power poles. literally dug the holes and helped plant the poles, tapped in the soil, and maybe strung the line. So this Tennessee farmer helped out. They connected his farm, went down the road, connected the next one, next one, next one, and so on and so forth. And you can be sure that the farmer put in electric lights, probably put in a pump in the house so his wife didn't have to carry 3/4 of a ton of water every day. She'd turn on the faucet. Probably got a refrigerator as well. I remember my father telling me when he was a kid in college delivering ice because there was no electricity for no refrigeration. Probably wired the barn for lights, maybe put in a grinder so he wouldn't have to do that by hand. So that evening, he took his family to a little hill overlooking the farm at twilight. And the curtains of the house were open, and the barn door was askew, and they sat there transfixed, seeing for the very first time light pierce the darkness, seeing how electricity could illuminate their lives. Can you imagine the emotion they felt? The next day, Sunday, they went to church, and this particular church allowed the parishioners at the end of the service to give testimony of their faith. And the farmer got to his feet and made the observation. He said, "Brothers and sisters, I want to tell you this, that the greatest thing is the love of Jesus in your heart. And the next greatest thing, not the next best thing, but the next greatest thing is to have rural electrification in your home. The next greatest thing." Now, there are many books written, but none so pronounced as the book of Matthew. It teaches us Beatitudes. It has the Sermon on the Mount. And here I have to ask my friend Jack Lacey about chapter 25, verse 40, which says, "As you have done to the least of them." Did I get that citation right? I'm sure I did. And it's an edict that I struggle with every day. It says, "As you have done to the least of them, you have done to me." The Rural Electrification Administration, the REA, was created solely to lift people out of poverty, to lift them out of poverty. This is nearly a commandment that this cooperative has taken seriously. You heard Tim talk about the Roundup program. On average, it costs you $6 a year. And they raise substantial amount of money to help people sand off the rough edges of their life. Recently, a year or two ago, Lake Region sent 3 linemen, Anthony Spaeth, Louis Bakken, and Troy Setter, to go to the poorest country in the world, which is Haiti. And their little town called Pignon had a gas turbine laid in a dusty shed. And it was by happenstance that missionaries that came to Pignon, Haiti, discovered this turbine and offered to provide electrification. And so these 3 linemen went to this poor town, and the locals dug the holes, helped plant the poles, and string the lines. Electricity comes on now and again, but enough to power their smartphones, I would guess. And certainly at night, so the children could study. And as it happens in Haiti, they're beset by continued civil war. The townspeople were so proud and so dependent of their electric cooperative that they came out with shovels and hoes and pitchforks to defend their electric cooperative, their electric infrastructure that these three linemen helped build against the insurgents, showing how important electrification is to Pinyon, Haiti, the next greatest thing. And the other thing that resonates with me is I recall when Tim was assistant manager at a co-op called Freeborn Mauer. This is in Albert Lee. And Tim had done a lot to create jobs, similar to what he has done here. Incredible amount of jobs have been created because of this cooperative. And so Tim invited local legislators and county commissioners and city council people and the press and the TV. And so a woman whose Tim Co-op assisted in creating jobs had her employees come forward and give their name. And so this one woman stepped forward and looked at the bright lights of the TV camera and said her name. And I will never forget what happened next because I had the great opportunity to be there. She turned to walk back to her seat, but she had something very important to add. And she swiveled around and said, without this cooperative, I'd still be on welfare. Without this cooperative, I'd still be on welfare. Without Lake Region Electric Cooperative, so many people would struggle even more because of what this electric cooperative has done. So there'll be many more books written about this cooperative. Right now there's technical manuals. There's 835 electric cooperatives serving in 48 states, serving more than half of the landmass of this great country we love. They serve about 42 or 43 million customers, member owners. And so the nation's co-ops have put together this committee called the Strategic Technology Advisory Board, something like that. I call it, how did you do it? How did you do it committee? So they only select the brightest people to serve on this committee. And despite the handicap of graduating from Iowa State University, Tim Thompson is on that committee because they want to know how we did it. How was it that he became the first co-op in the nation to have a combined wind and solar? How'd you do that? And oh, by the way, Tim, how were you able to put in not one but two solar gardens? And not only that, this is the only co-op in the nation that provides natural gas. Providing natural gas is very different than providing electricity. But so successful is what Tim and his board of directors have done that the Public Utility Commission of the great state of Minnesota adjudicates rates. If you want to raise rates by a natural gas company, they have to prove it. If you want to do anything, the PUC has to prove it. Prove it for safety and reliability and all that sort of business. So impressed with what Tim has done, they said, you don't need to come back. We're not going to look at your rates, your cost base. We're so impressed with you, what you do, but could you come down and talk to us and tell us how you did this? Because you have set the standard for the other natural gas companies serving far more than 1,000 customers that Lake Region has done. If I could use the secular version of the last gospel, the last chapter, the last verse, it would go, and Tim did many other things. Tim did many other things. But let me conclude by quoting yet another book of the Bible, the book of Numbers. The book of Numbers was written to do a census to enumerate the 12 tribes of Israel. But in that book of Numbers is something that you might hear every Sunday. I certainly hear it every Sunday, the church I attend. And it goes like this. I suspect you could recite it by heart. The Lord bless you and keep you. But it's the next clause which describes the blessing and the miracle that is Lake Region Electric Cooperative. The Lord make his face shine upon you. Because it is this co-op, among others, that God has chosen to shine upon you, to bring you light, to illuminate you in every possible way, every second of every day. And that is the blessing and the miracle of this cooperative. Happy anniversary.
Thank you, Mark, for finding time to come and speak at our annual meeting. It's been a privilege. Now I'd like to ask Chad Festuel to come forward and announce the result of the election.
Go to Tom's microphone. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The results are Charlie Blixt with 216 votes, Todd Blado with 216 votes. We have a tie. So I just want to explain a little bit. So there were 6 ballots received at the annual meeting today. In Fergus Falls, there were no ballots received at the Frazee location or the Parkers Prairie location. The rest of the ballots were submitted by mail or electronically. There was 1 spoiled ballot received at the co-op. It was spoiled because there was no way to verify whether that member voted more than once. The outer envelope wasn't included. With the ballots that were mailed in and done electronically, there were 6 duplicate web/paper ballots that were not counted. Because of the tie, which is unprecedented, our bylaws, section 3.7A, state that a tie is to be broken by a flip of the coin with a candidate whose last name appears first in the alphabet, calling heads or tails. We have to do the tie because the members approved that with the bylaws, and it makes sense because of the number of mail-in and electronic ballots that we have. We can't do a recount, because not everyone that voted is here. It wouldn't be fair to everyone to do a recount unless everyone was here. And obviously everyone is not here who voted, so we will have to do a flip of the coin. And so I would invite Todd and Charlie to come up to the stage. So I'll just state that Survey and Ballot System did do a recount when they sent me the results this afternoon, so they had recounted, and we did recount the 6 ballots that we did receive here. The tellers here in Fergus were Randy Kavit, Cheryl Kavit, and Steve Andrews. Well, I know. We'll go up front here. I do have, I'll show you. If you want to come up here, gentlemen. So, and the other thing is I was looking at this, you always prepare for this, but you never think it's going to happen. And so I looked at the last names, Blado and Blixt. So we have BL, and then you have A and I. So it comes down to that. So I've got a quarter. That is heads, obviously, and that is tails, which is, I don't even know what state that is. I don't even think it's a state. But anyway. So Todd, you will get to call it in the air. I will let it fall to the floor. You want to call it? Heads. It is tails. So congratulations, Charlie.
I can't believe it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chad. I don't think he was figuring on having to work so hard tonight. Overtime, yeah. So before we conclude tonight's meeting, we'd like to take and answer some questions from our members.
Yeah, we've got some questions that have come in electronically on the iPad here from those online, as well as I think maybe those from the other meetings. One of the questions is the $10 bill credit only for in-person meeting attendance? No, I believe that's for everybody. If I'm wrong on that, somebody please correct me, but that should be for everybody. Okay, well, this is more of a comment, I guess. All presentations have been great. Tim's was exceptional. Loved the entertainment too. You guys outdid yourselves. Here's one. What drove the big drop in other non-operating income from 2020 to 2021 in the statement of operations from $2,088,109 to $530,292? I believe the reason non-operating income was so high in 2020 and it dropped down in 2021 is because in 2020 would have been when we would have received the PPP dollars to help offset some of our additional cost of dealing with COVID. Amanda, if I'm incorrect on that, please correct me. I'm getting a thumbs up. Love it. Thank you. How is the expansion of solar going? We continue to work with our members with our Go West program. If you're interested in solar, let us know. We'd love to talk to you. This member's been interested in some time, but have not found a reasonably priced installation. And from my knowledge of solar right now, it's kind of like everything. It's kind of, the equipment has gone up right now. So I don't know if that helps or answers that question, but I would direct this member to talk to our energy services team about anything related to solar. They do a fantastic job working with our members on solar-related topics. There's one for Great River Energy. Mark Fagan, again, thank you so much for driving up tonight. Would you mind taking that one?
Go ahead and read the
question. Sure.
All right. I hear Mark saying homegrown, as a means to develop a homegrown power source, why can we not focus on residential scale projects, like promoting a group buy program across all co-ops for all members? The discount due to volume could be passed on to consumers in the co-ops, along with GRE. And then there's another one also that I'll try and capture both these questions with one answer. How can we increase the cap on the allowable amount of power exported to GRE? Currently the amount, there's a limit as a 5% option, reducing the ability for members to integrate solar. So the great news about the power supply portfolio transition I described to you earlier is it gives GRE some headroom in the power supply portfolio to provide the members some flexibility. So while GRE has long-term power purchase agreements and long-term transmission service agreements with each of our 28 member owners, there is the ability now with our new power supply portfolio to get out of our members' way to a certain extent as it relates to Lake Region and other cooperatives wanting to shape their own future to a certain extent as it relates to power supply resources. So for instance, the 5% option was mentioned in that question I just read. In our current power purchase contract with our 20 all requirements members, of which Lake Region is one, we give those members the ability to self-supply up to 5% of their needs. Now, there's some restrictions on that in that the output of the facility, and in the case of Lake Region, it's that wind solar hybrid facility, cannot exceed the load on the nearby distribution substation. And so 14 of our 20 all requirements members have taken advantage of that 5% option. That has resulted in 28 different or discrete projects. And so we still have some members that haven't taken any advantage of it, but we have more innovative members like Lake Region who have and might be approaching the cap. And so we're currently in dialogue with the CEOs from our 20 all requirements members to talk about how we can increase that cap. Again, for GRE to get out of the members' way and those members that have a desire to do more local renewable energy projects to do that. I'm quite confident we're pretty far down the road in those discussions with the member CEOs. I'm quite confident we'll have a solution to that 5% option cap issue here later this year. From a broader context, though, GRE, as you saw in those donut charts I showed you, will be needing more power supply than we have over the last 10 years. Our preference, as you saw with my discussion about using load management as a capacity resource, our preference is to go to our members first to fill some of our power supply needs because we know that they can build local renewables cost effectively. So rather than GRE going out to the market and buying some power supply, our first call will be to our member owners. And so we're having a broader dialogue about that as well. For the first time ever, our integrated resource planning activities, which is something required by the Minnesota Public Utilities Commission. All utilities in Minnesota need to plan their load serving obligation, not just for this summer, but 15 years out into the future. And we're getting ready to file our next integrated resource plan next spring. For the first time ever, we're going to integrate member resources into that resource planning activity. So I'm pretty excited about the ability that we have now with this change power supply portfolio, giving us some headroom to get out of our members' way so they can shape more of their power supply future, while at the same time maybe collaborating with our member owners to get some more local renewables into our power supply portfolio, because that may actually be the most cost-effective option for GRE. So thanks for those two questions. I hope they were responsive.
If I could just follow up on that, kind of bring it down to Lake Region for you. In terms of future and solar, wind, battery storage, those types of things, right now we're trying to identify some opportunities for us to add a little bit more solar. These would be smaller projects, but for example, at our substations, we already own the land. For example, we have one substation where we could put some inside an existing fence. It'd be small, but it might make economic sense to do a project like that. We also are just in the very beginnings of a pilot program to work with one of our members to put a small battery storage device in the home. That's really exciting and to learn and watch the battery technology develop. One of the things we haven't done yet on a bigger scale is a battery storage project where we can use the solar or the wind to store the battery, have that storage, and then use that battery storage power when prices are the most expensive. So what Mark was talking about, if we get some more flexibility to do more local resources, I think one of our interests would be to analyze and hopefully develop more of a battery storage project at Lake Region as well. So we keep looking at everything, and hopefully we can bring some more projects to the local area and make it a good economic benefit. It's got to make good economic sense for our members.
Thank you, Tim. Any questions from the floor? Sir?
Yeah, so the hydro, our hydro comes in two forms. One is through WAPA. So I think 12 of our member owners get an allocation from the Western Area Power Administration. Lake Region is one of those. And then also we have an agreement or a contract with Manitoba Hydro out of Canada to bring down a couple hundred megawatts of hydro resource during the summer. We're not planning right now to increase the hydro. I think what you're seeing is as we recalculate, as the coal drops down and the wind energy picks up and you recalculate that total, it's giving the existing hydro a little more proportionality in that donut chart. Oh yeah. So Tim and I were speaking before the meeting here, and we were expecting a question along these lines because this has been in the press quite a bit here lately. The question is, should we expect brownouts, and if so, will we have ample time to prepare? So you might have seen in the Twin Cities press and in other publications that the Mid-Continent Independent System Operator, which is the transmission operator and reliability coordinator for Minnesota and other Midwestern states, going all the way out to Indiana, as far west as the Montana border and as far south as Louisiana. So it's a big footprint that the Mid-Continent Independent System Operator manages the transmission assets associated with those states. So the MISO is what we call them for short. The MISO is concerned that they may be short electricity during peak demand times during the summer. So the Minnesota side of that story is Great River Energy and the other utilities in Minnesota, including the IOUs, are required by the state of Minnesota to have enough resources to meet the expected load this summer plus a planning margin. So the Minnesota PUC requires that of us. Of course, our members require that of GRE. So Minnesota, and you probably saw in the Star Tribune article from a couple of weekends ago, has enough power supply resources to meet the customers, or for the co-ops, the members, this summer. But other states within MISO, or other utilities in other states within MISO, are apparently short supply versus demand. So the challenge for that is, even though Minnesota is fine for this summer, if there's a broader grid reliability event, MISO could call on the utilities in Minnesota to implement rotating outages. We used to call them rolling blackouts. That could be on very, very short notice. Now, we don't anticipate that happening, but as MISO said, there's a higher likelihood of that happening this summer versus previous summers.
Lake homeowners, it's roughly 1/3. Did everybody hear the question? Of our 28,000 customers, how many of those are, was it seasonal? Lake homes. Yeah, okay, lake homes, seasonal. It's about a third of our members are seasonal. Yeah, so I hope that lake home. Does anybody have a better number for me? Is a third about right? Maybe that's a little high. Yeah, great question. Thank you. All right, any other final questions for this evening? I'm going to check the iPad one more time. Not seeing anything new coming in here. Did we get a total count, I'm sorry, for all the facilities tonight, all three and online? Anybody have that number? Anyway, excellent turnout, I think, at all three sites, and I can imagine we'll try to maybe do this model going forward to give opportunities for people to drive a shorter distance to participate in their annual meeting. Anything else? Last call? Wow. Not seeing anything else. Thank you very much. Have a safe drive home.
Well, thank you for attending the 2022 Lake Region Annual Meeting and celebrating our co-op's 85th anniversary. This meeting is now adjourned.